This is relationship 101. The first one is, so if you are wanting to have a better relationship, this may be helpful for you. Relationships are super important. We cannot escape relationships. If we are living, breathing, we're going to have relationships in some capacity, whether it's work and family, friends, we're going to have relationships, and it is work, right? When we in relationships, things can be complicated because they have their own worldviews, they have their own, ideas and, thoughts. And so it's different when we come in contact with somebody who is different from us, which everybody is, right? And so relationships, it's important that we work on relationships. We need people, people need us. So the first one in this relationships 101 is don't talk too much. We got to be careful that we don't hog the conversation. We got to be careful that we allow other people to talk, because we cannot learn anything new if we're doing all the talking. It's rude to do all the talking. We have to give other people time and space. Maybe they're different from us. Maybe they're going to, their ideas are different from us. Their thoughts are, their background, their behavior is different from ours. Maybe they don't talk as much as we do. Maybe they don't talk as fast as we do. Maybe they have to have time. But we got to make sure we're not talking too much. We got to listen. We got to make sure we're listening. We cannot hog the conversation. And we got to be thinking about, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We need to listen twice as much as we talk. So we got to be careful about talking too much. We got to give this other person time and space to be able to talk themselves. They have something to share. We just got to give them a chance to do it. And we got to realize that they're different from us and they may communicate differently than we do. 2 is don't talk about personal things. So this just depends on what the relationship it is. What type of relationship it is. If it's a business relationship, if it's a brand new friend, we just got to make sure we're not oversharing. And so we may be somebody who overshares all the time, but we got to be careful about, we don't want to push people away. We don't want to seem weird, right? So we don't want to talk about personal things too quick. And of course, I know that in order to build a solid relationship, build rapport, you have to share personal things at some point, but we just got to be careful that we're not doing it too soon. So just make sure that you're not sharing personal things too soon. And of course, at the right time, you'll be able to share personal things. And that's how we get to know people better. We share a little bit, they share a little bit, and the relationship grows. We don't want to share personal things too much too soon. The third one is to be a good listener. So we need to listen with our ears and our eyes and our heart to what the person has to say. What are they really sharing with us? We need to listen to understand. Instead of waiting to be able to jump in and put our 2 cents in or say whatever we have to say. We got to be a good listener. And that really starts with just pause and giving this person the time and space to be able to say what they need to say. And especially if they don't, say things the way we do, you want to make sure you're understanding what they're saying. And the only way you can do that is to really listen, really lean in and listen to what they have to share. Number 4 is observe and pay attention. So a lot of things that are important are never said. So we got to listen for what the things that are not being said. We got to listen for things that we need to just be paying attention to, the body language, the tone of their voice, what they're actually saying. So we got to listen. We got to stop and observe and pay attention. A lot of times we're so busy, we're looking down at our phone, text messages, we're doing all these different things, and we're not paying attention, and we miss opportunities to, ask more questions or to figure out what happened. Why did this person, their body language change? Why did they go low with their tone? Why did their pitch get higher? But we can only do that if we're observing, we're paying attention to what's going on. The next one is number 5 is be positive, say positive things. So nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy. So we got to make sure that we're always positive, no matter what's going on, no matter what we can complain about. We got to stay positive because people just don't want to be around negative people. And if you just think about the next time you're with somebody and they suck the air out of the room because they're negative, they're always negative, they're always complaining, they're never happy with anything. Just pay attention to how they make you feel. A lot of times I notice that I feel drained when somebody comes to me and they're talking negative. They always talk negative. They're always complaining. We just got to make sure we keep it positive all the time. We stay positive. We believe positive. We believe the best in people. 6 is realize that everyone is different. They have different experiences, ideas, paths. And a lot of times we want people to be like us. We want to be in relationships with people that are just like us. And it's just not going to happen. We are going to meet people that are totally different from us. I mean, everybody is. We just got to be paying attention, and we got to embrace people who are different, embrace their differences, because they've done the same thing for us, because we're different than they are. I'm shy. So, somebody who's extroverted, just got to make sure you're paying attention and that you're embracing who they are and what they believe and how they come across. It could be overly aggressive, for somebody who is shy like me, but you just want to be able to celebrate people for embrace who they are. 7 is don't make assumptions, and we can all attest to this one. We assume a certain thing or things about people. We got to stop making assumptions and just listen and wait and learn and grow with this person, and stop making assumptions, because we don't know for sure. We're just assuming, and until we ask this person, we're not going to know the truth. We're not going to know really what it is. So stop making assumptions. 8, stop trying to read others' mind. We don't know what they're thinking unless they tell us. And so this is a big one, because we can, if we're not paying attention, we can assume, we can say, okay, this is what they were thinking. And, you can ask, okay, how did you know this is what they're thinking? Because we just assume, we just think, okay, well, I know this is what she was saying because she did this, she behaved this way. But we got to stop trying to read other people's mind. We don't know what they're thinking unless they tell us. So just be careful with reading people's mind. And when you're building a relationship, you gotta keep in mind that you want to come across the best that you can. You want, a good relationship, solid relationship. And it starts with just paying attention, being honest about who you are, being vulnerable. And so this is Relationships 101. The first one was don't talk too much. 2, don't talk about personal things too soon. 3 is be a good listener. 4 is observe and pay attention. 5, be positive, see the positive thing, or say positive things. 6 is realize that everyone is different. 7 is don't make assumptions. And then 8 is stop trying to read other people's mind. Super important. We stop trying to read other people's mind. So this is just the beginning of Relationships 101. There's so many different things, but this is just something to just have you, so you can think about, how can I have better relationships? What do I need to do to have better relationships? What do I need to do to have solid relationships? And this will help you just kind of get started building better relationships.